So cool to see where everyone's coming through from. Awesome. All right. So to get started, we can kick off with a little introduction. So for those of you that I haven't met, my name is Grace, pronouns are she, her. I am the VP of strategy here at Four. Four has been around for 10 years. We're in our 10th anniversary this year, and I have been here for 9, which is kind of wild. But yeah, I've really seen the whole company and space explode in that time. I work across essentially all of our accounts and partner really closely with our new business and marketing teams. But thrilled to have you all on here today.
Awesome. And hey, y'all, I'm Sophie Wood. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a senior creative strategist here at Four, and I'm coming up on 3 years at the company. I work on the overall strategy and creative for our ambassador programs and ad hoc campaigns, and then also, research industry trends and shifts within the influencer marketing space so that our strategies always reflect that, but then also so that we can host lovely webinars like this one. So excited to chat with y'all.
Love, thanks so much. Hello, everyone. I am Parish Hayes. Pronouns are he, him. I'm strategist here at Four. Been here a little under a year now, which is actually wild. Absolutely excited to be here with you guys. I work just like Sophie across many of our teams here at Four, from our ambassador and ad hoc campaigns. And it's, social media obsessed millennial myself. So definitely excited to speak to you about TikTok Shop today.
Amazing. Awesome. And looks like we've got a full house. I'm sure we'll have some stragglers continuing to roll in. I know, again, everyone's busy. We really appreciate you all joining us today. A little bit about us before we dive in. We have an incredible list of clients. This is just a handful of them. I know a few of them are dialing in today. So hey, y'all, to anyone who is here. Very blessed to be able to work across, again, such a huge array of brands. A lot of them are in fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, but we also touch some tech and travel, sports. So yeah, we do a ton, all in the influencer, ambassador, and creator space. We have self-serve solutions, we have managed service solutions. But yeah, thank you again for anyone who has joined us who maybe hasn't been in contact with Four in the past. So today we are going to get a really high level lay of the land to kick us off. We're going to go into a little bit of TikTok Shop 101. And then we are also going to dig into some of the research that, again, myself and the wonderful Sophie and Parish and some other incredible members of our team have been doing over the past couple of weeks, including surveys and interviews that we've conducted directly. And of course, some takeaways and recommendations for all of the incredible brands that we have joining us today to make sure that you have what you need to get started on TikTok Shop. So to begin with a bit of a lay of the land. So, if you're joining today, obviously you have heard about TikTok Shop. Again, I mentioned as you're all rolling in that it feels like every day there's 5 new articles and updates on what is happening, what is changing, what TikTok's plans are, what the industry's observations are. And we have read all of these articles, and even in diving into a lot of that, it's still, I think, a little bit of a sense of, lots to learn for everyone. And if we think about the rollout thus far, it's actually been happening for a minute. So alpha testing in the US actually began back in November of last year with a smaller invite-only alpha testing closed group. Broad rollout began in July of this year. And I'm sure as users, even if you haven't been experimenting as marketers yet, you would have seen shop posts starting to pop up. But the full functionality launch and rollout has really been happening in this last month in September. You may have heard of them sunsetting their Shopify integration and some other third-party integrations to really take control of the full suite on the platform. So there's a lot of changes happening and being announced every day. You may have also heard, or may not yet, that TikTok have some really ambitious goals for Shop. The Atlantic is one of the publications that's reported that they have set a goal of selling $20 billion worth of products through TikTok Shop by the end of this year, which is pretty wild to think about. That is a B, 20 billion. And so again, probably no surprise that you're seeing a lot of shop in your feeds and in your For You page. And with that rollout, knowing it started back in November of last year, and it's been kind of steadily being rolled out since then, and based on how much coverage there is, you kind of think that as marketers and as creators and consumers, that everyone would be kind of clear on what it is and how it works, and really gearing up to think about how we're going to activate with it. But generally that's not actually the sense that we get from all of the conversations that we are having with brands, with friends in the industry, with creators that we're in contact with. There's a bit of a kind of collective shrug, or a little bit of like hesitation. On the left here, we have one of my favorite creators named Bad Gal Fifi. Hilarious if anyone hasn't followed her. She posted recently talking about how much TikTok Shop was low-key stressing her the hell out because of all the notifications she was getting. And we were viewing this internally, and there are a lot of people who are kind of like, yeah, same. I mean, there's so much changing, so much that's unclear. And I think generally there's a bit of industry newness fatigue, or a little bit of a sense of like, is this, didn't really work on Instagram? Do we have to pay attention to this? I heard that TikTok Shop are actually on track to lose more than $500 million this year. Surely it's not working, or this doesn't have to be something that we have to pivot our strategy toward. Is this worth the time? It's precious. And a common kind of soundbite that we're hearing as well is just that the products seem really random and a bit sus. If you go into the shop tab and kind of start looking around, that it's like, is this really going to be something that works and makes sense for my brand when the product selection seems kind of so random? But again, based on all of the research that we've done and knowing how aggressively TikTok is pushing this, we all talk about TikTok as being the most direct competitor as being Instagram, but they're also now talking about Amazon being a really direct competitor to them, and them wanting to take market share, a significant amount of market share from Amazon. So our hope is that after today, if you're feeling a little bit of that newness fatigue, or a little bit of like, what is this? How does it work? Is it worth my time? That by the end of this, you'll be able to see, okay, I at least have the baseline of, the fact that this is maybe something that I need to be paying attention to and talking about internally, and figuring out what testing we need to do sooner than later to make sure that we can capitalize on the enormous push that TikTok is doing.
Perfect. So with that, we'll start with kind of the basics, so we all have a foundational understanding of where TikTok Shop lives and kind of how it works. So first, we wanted to take a view of the shop tab if you as an audience member were kind of to go looking for it. So this is the new shop feed, which is its own tab. It's in addition to For You or following. And a disclaimer is that this feature has actually not been rolled out to everyone across the US yet. So like if you're following along on your phone and you don't see it, don't be alarmed. It's just not on your feed yet. But this feed kind of resembles like a Temu or an Amazon. But overall, the product assortment looks really random. Like products will, of course, like vary depending on your algorithm, but due to the ease and the low barrier to entry for small businesses to set up, also this being available to brands overseas before it was available to US brands, and kind of just major brands being slow off the starter blocks, at this stage, this view doesn't really inspire a lot of confidence. So just going through the examples that we have here on the slide, there's like a heavily discounted Lululemon fanny pack for $20 being sold by a seller named KTK Mart, which when I tried to Google them, I couldn't find anything about them. So our team has kind of been saying things like, no decent brands seem to be on there. I don't really know if this is legit. I've seen food or snacks being sold on there. Are they FDA approved? Why does everything look so sus? There's a lot of dupes, a lot of replicas. This exact experience is one of the key contributors to the collective kind of shrug from US marketers on whether or not we should be paying attention to TikTok Shop. But something that is important to consider is that would any user, aside from a marketer or a creator looking to learn, actually go to this tab when they haven't come to TikTok to buy anything? That's not the reason they go on the app. They go on the app to just mindlessly scroll through videos, as we all do. So what we have come to the conclusion is that it's unnatural user behavior to specifically go to this shop tab, and it's not really what consumers are doing. So don't let this Alibaba-esque aesthetic kind of lure you into the false sense that TikTok Shop as a whole isn't legit or that it won't take off. So next is a view that is built for the user, which is the seamless TikTok Shop product integration. So this is the most native and kind of subtle and frequent way that TikTok Shop will actually show up on your feed. And it's probably how you have seen TikTok Shop begin to enter it. So you may have not even noticed it at all. That was kind of a theme that we saw because it is so subtle. So essentially, you'll just be scrolling through your For You or following feed, and you may notice that one of the videos has a new little baby button that says shop on it. It's right above the username and the caption section. And then there will usually be an eligible for commission text disclosure at the bottom of the caption. So this is the TikTok Shop kind of product integration. And when you click that button, it allows you to view and check out the featured product without literally ever interrupting the video that you're watching. So as you're viewing the product, the video still plays in the background visually and audibly, and you never have to leave the feed. You never have to leave the app. You just like continue watching your video. So basically it creates like an overall easy and subtle integration that doesn't interrupt the natural user experience or flow of the average TikTok user. So we feel very good about this. That then brings us to Showcase. So Showcase is where a creator can highlight any products that they enjoy or endorse. It's very akin to Amazon storefronts. So when you go to a creator's profile who has a showcase, there's kind of two places where you can find it. There's going to be a button in the bio area that says Showcase, and there will also be like a little bag icon kind of next to the main tab of their feed. And what's important to note here is that the creators do not need a contract in place with the brand in order to list the product in their showcase. They also do not have to request, redeem, or purchase the product to add it to showcase. This could be something they've already owned, something they've bought in the past, something they've never even tried before. That can all still be added on their showcase as long as the brand simply has to have just like the product available on TikTok Shop. That's it. So that kind of encapsulates TikTok Shop 101. Kind of quick and dirty, but we wanted to leave you with a few need to knows as you kind of start to get started. The first one being that brands can set up a TikTok Shop with just one product. So this low barrier to entry has meant that many small businesses have flocked to Shop. So major brands, you're next. And then brands are the ones that set their creator commission rates. I just saw that question get asked in the chat. So brands are the ones that set the creator commission rates starting at 5%. And this can range anywhere from 5 to 20%. That was a quote that was taken from a TikTok representative who spoke to Business Insider. And then the algorithm is favoring shop posts. So for now, TikTok's algorithm is favoring shop integration as part of like this kind of aggressive push to compete with Amazon and other competitors. So they are pushing videos with TikTok Shop as much as possible. Who knows how long this will last, but I think the sooner the better. And then creators have access to exclusive coupons as incentive and low barrier. So this kind of still remains unclear on what restrictions or qualifications are needed for these coupons, and also like who sets them. Is it the brand or TikTok? We're unsure. But what we have seen is that creators who have joined TikTok Shop as affiliates are being offered exclusive coupons to purchase products on TikTok Shop at a very heavy discount, basically to incentivize them to get the product, try it out, potentially add it to their showcase, or create content featuring the product and integrating that TikTok Shop. The last one is that eligible for commission banner, that one that we showcased in the last slide, is currently FTC compliant with a caveat. It's FTC compliant specifically on posts where there is not a sponsored contract in place between the brand and the creator. If there is a contract between the brand and the creator, then the typical FTC guidelines do still apply. So that's our little quick and dirty TikTok Shop 101.
Awesome. I'm going to jump back in here for a moment. So we have just gone over 101. In order to inform the rest of our research and not just go off what was being kind of published by industry press and what we're observing directly, we also wanted to get some insight from creators to get a sense of how quickly this is being adopted, what their experience is so far, what they have learned, and what we can glean from it on the brand side. So what we did at FOR, we have around 180,000 people who have all opted into our platform. When they do that, they create their own profile. They give us direct API access to each of their platforms, including TikTok. So we now have verified, direct, completely accurate, legally procured data directly from TikTok as a platform. And it means that we can not just look at things like follower growth or how frequently they're going viral or their viewership rates or their content style and their audience demographics, but also that we can survey them. We can ask them questions, we can lean on them to be able to inform our perspective. Because at FOR, we kind of offer out these free tools and education for creators and ability to potentially work with our brands. But then we also are servicing so many brands. So we're kind of playing industry therapist at all times. So for this specific webinar and research initiative, we put up a survey for our community, and we were able, oops, sorry, I'm struggling to slide to the next slide here. And we were able to dive into, really robust research initiative through that direct access to the creators on our platform.
Yeah, exactly. So with that survey, we were able to kind of gather responses from 242 creators with a median TikTok following of a little over 26K, and then a median Instagram following of 20K. So these are folks that are pretty savvy on both TikTok and Instagram, and we kind of wanted to get their thoughts on TikTok Shop. And with that, our team also conducted some in-depth interviews with a handful of these respondents, which we'll dive into a little bit later. Great. So from the initial survey of almost 250 respondents, nearly half of them, 41%, have already joined TikTok Shop. But it's important to note that of the 41% who have already joined, only half of those have actually taken the leap to start using it. And then of those 59% who haven't joined yet, the most common reason for inaction was either because they didn't understand it or they were skeptical about how it works. And then the second most common reason was that they just haven't gotten around to it, but they do plan and are excited to join soon. And then the third most common reason was that they plan to join once they see more brands they love available on TikTok Shop. So brands that are watching this, creators are wanting you to join TikTok Shop so that they can start promoting and featuring your products. Even as we were playing around with it and I was trying to search up products that I use, Parish is also a creator who has a TikTok Shop. And I was just like, oh, like I always use this one concealer, but it's not available on TikTok Shop. Like I can't talk about it. So gives you even more reason that like creators are asking you to join so that they can start, integrating these into their videos. And then we also wanted to gain some insight on if any of these creators had actually purchased something through TikTok Shop. I saw another question about fulfillment, which we were also curious about, like how does that work? How long does shipping take? And it was actually interesting to see that despite some skeptics, 1 in 3 of the respondents reported that they had already purchased a product from TikTok. And then of those, only 2% said that the experience and product fell short of their expectations. So for the other 98%, smooth sailing. And then 29% of respondents said that although they haven't done it yet, they are interested in buying a product from TikTok Shop soon. So that's almost 2/3 of all survey respondents have either already bought a product via TikTok Shop or are planning to in the near future. So it's clear to us that active TikTok users are adapting and adopting the new TikTok Shop functions.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So one thing that's great about FOR is that we have the ability to really connect with our creators and our influencers, and we like to speak to them and engage to get the kind of ear to the ground perspective. And so for this, like our survey, like Sophie mentioned our survey, we ask creators questions, but also we wanted to interview them, specifically the creators that we felt had the most compelling answers or answers that just completely shocked us. So just to highlight some of those individuals and those creators, we have 3 here. We have Alyssa Pinozzi, and she's not only a lifestyle and fitness creator, but also a TikTok Shop success story. Get into that a little bit more, but really exciting. She generated over $10,000 in sales by integrating the Stanley Cup into her content and her already like fitness content. So just really natural. As well as like LaShante, whose content centers around parenting with unique perspective as a merchant and a creator on TikTok. So I think that she just had a really great perspective for both brands and for creators. And then Asha, who's a versatile creator who specializes in modest fashion, lifestyle, beauty, and home, who honestly incorporated TikTok Shop into her content strategy and is delivering like quite impressive results. So going to the next slide, starting with Alyssa, she was really exciting to speak to, honestly, and she really shocked us with her responses to our survey because she made $10,000 just by selling a Stanley Cup. Basically, what happened here is she was an early adopter to TikTok Shop. TikTok invited her early on to be a part of their creator community and kind of like pilot the program. And she didn't know what it was, and she kind of just like took the leap into it. She's also a professional content creator as well as a brand strategist, so she kind of took that leap for her own personal, but also for her business in itself to just understand like what this was going to be. So what's really awesome about that is that she gained a lot of views, as you see here, 4.6 million views, 146.7K likes, and again, like 10K in commission for the Stanley Cup. She saw it on, it was just as easy as she saw it on TikTok Shop, the Stanley Cup that she already owned. She ordered it, but started making content before that order came in. And one of the videos went viral and she sold 1,000 units, which was at $10 a unit, which got her to that 10K mark. What Alyssa has told us, and which honestly me, like Sophie said, as a creator has trying to adopt in myself, is that I want to be able to like integrate these products naturally into my content. So what Alyssa does that was really amazing was she was able to jump on trends that were already happening. One of my favorites was the Summer I Turned Pretty sound that went pretty wild the last few weeks. She jumped on that, integrating the Stanley Cup, and it went viral and it was amazing. So just kind of doing naturally what you already do and just adding a TikTok product or a TikTok Shop product really works in this specific strategy. And then again, like Sophie said, wishing bigger brands would be a part of TikTok Shop. Again, there's brands that I personally love that I would love to be able to like talk about and have the opportunity to gain commissions and to gain money from it just by promoting it. So that's also kind of letting you know that like creators are really looking for that. For LaShante, LaShante was very interesting for us because she had the perspective of someone who not only sells on TikTok Shop, but also is a creator herself. So like I said, we thought she was just like a valuable content creator to speak to. She owns a small business and been a part of the TikTok pilot program since 2020. She's been through live TikTok Shop integration, Shopify integration, and now the end of Shopify as of 2 days ago. And just honestly, just like couldn't say more positive things about TikTok Shop and the ease to use. She did tell us a few of her own insights about TikTok Shop, such as creators receive sales data for about 15 days. TikTok enforces a 3-day shipping window with a maximum of 5 to 7 days. So brands are not able to just like hold individuals' money. They're going to get purchasers are going to get products really quickly, which is really awesome because I know that that's something that's really important and something we're always worried about. And TikTok Shop complements e-commerce. It complements e-commerce. No product customization is available. So when you add a product to a TikTok Shop, you can't manipulate the product at all. Like it's sold as is, which I think is a really great and for brands that's looking to be a part of this. As well as TikTok Shop is beneficial for all brands and creators. Again, it's super easy to use on the creator end, just from my own experience selling a product on TikTok Shop, which is really fun, as well as for brands to like upload into TikTok Shop. And then, like Alyssa said, again, it's just really easy to use, very natural, adding content that is very natural and just adding the TikTok Shop component to it. And posting multiple times really does help with this and really does boost your sales and probability of going viral on TikTok Shop. As it was mentioned before, the TikTok Shop or TikTok's algorithm is really pushing for products or pushing for content with some sort of shoppable element into it. So it just really helps, viewership for creators as well as potential sales. Awesome. And then we go to Asha, which I thought was just really interesting because she had a pretty hot take when she was speaking kind of like the differences between, Instagram Shop, which rolled out years ago, and then now like TikTok Shop, and kind of like the POV from a creator, like what she thought of those two. And it was funny because what she said was Instagram feels like your in-laws. You have to try so hard. Whereas TikTok is your friends. You're on there and it's just like, it's me, I'm here, this is what I think, which is kind of like the general sentiment that we received from our creators when we spoke to them, which was that TikTok is a place where you come and it's kind of like getting recommendations from a friend or just someone that you know and you relate to. While Instagram's a lot more aesthetically driven, and we've spoken on ourselves on our strat team about and our strat marketing team about TikTok Shop being a lot more creator focused, while Instagram is a lot more just business and shop focused. When creators for TikTok Shop can do a little bit of both. Her advice to brands was really helpful as well, to make products that you're gifting to influencers available on TikTok Shop, so your influencers can partner and link them as an additional perk, which I thought was awesome and amazing, and it totally makes sense. If you're gifting these products, why not have them on your TikTok Shop so creators can be able to, link them and say like, hey, like I got this for free, but you can totally like purchase this, and it's also incentive for creators to be able to like make money on products like that. Also, get your influencer partners used to linking products onto TikTok Shop. This is something that we as a company have been exploring and looking to test with our clients, is that, we're trying to sell products and through influencers on, TikTok. So implementing a TikTok Shop strategy is only beneficial and has really no negative other than the fact that you have to upload the products onto the TikTok Shop, which is easy. And then lastly, take TikTok Shop seriously and start now. We've heard that a lot of eagerness to get into TikTok Shop, a lot of eagerness from creators and brands to understand TikTok Shop, hence the reason why we're here today. So really just understanding that this is kind of like the new storefront. Like even for me, from a creator perspective, being able to put my products that I use and I love on TikTok Shop in my showcase has really helped boost my commissions and sales, and just it's a great strategy to move forward with.
Okay. Oh, sorry. There we go with all of these buttons. Perfect. So we've got some questions rolling through. We're going to get to those in a minute, but wanting to go through a couple of key takeaways here and then some recommendations on the brand front. So the first is that, again, there's a lot of head scratching, a lot of collective feeling of like, should we be doing anything here? Is this something that we need to be paying attention to? TikTok are really aggressively pursuing this. They're really aggressively trying to take some of that market share from Amazon. I've just seen in the chat that there is comment again about a lot of people feeling the sense that there's a kind of flooding of these posts coming through in their algorithm. That's probably going to continue at least until the end of the year, knowing that they've set these really ambitious goals and knowing that we're coming into the busiest retail season of the year. They're still TikTok. They're still going to need to keep people entertained and make sure that there isn't that kind of fatigue for audiences as well. So they're going to be, it's a testing period. It's an infantile stage for them. I'm sure they'll start to peel it back once things have kind of shaken out. But for right now, there's a lot of benefit in getting in early because they are so aggressively pushing it and favoring posts that do have shop integrated. Another is, again, there's been kind of question marks on whether which creators and whether creators are adopting shop or if they're planning to. Nearly half of the ones that we have, the 200 or so that we have surveyed, are already using it, and the rest, there's a lot of interest and intent to adopt TikTok Shop. The third is, from our interviews, overwhelming sentiment was of all of the testing that the creators were doing, it was the products that they truly authentically loved and or already were using or owned, and were just adding those TikTok Shop tags into content that they'd either already created and then creating more. So, like all influencer and creator content, authenticity still remains completely essential to success. And so that is where we should all be focusing to make sure that we can get products up and out there to get folks who really love them and appreciate or already use them to be promoting them and integrating those into their posts. And the fourth is to not let the kind of view of when you go to the shop tab or the shop view, if you go on as a marketer and search and see all of the products in one hit, that is, again, what is one of the key things that is kind of deterring or creating this skepticism from marketers of like, is this going to work? Is this going to take off? Do I need to worry about it? It feels a little off when you're looking at that view, but important to remember, again, that a typical user isn't seeing it in that view. They're seeing the products that they're already interested in or that are coming through naturally in their feed and able to click on them in a way that's much more user-friendly. So a couple of tips. The first is to start small and start now. Again, you can start a TikTok shop with just one product. We touched a little bit before on there are some, shipping window restrictions and all that sort of stuff. So on the logistical side, there is still a lot that is continuing to change as TikTok moves away from Shopify and any other third parties. There's still a lot more to learn there as we continue to get updates every day, it seems. But instead of waiting to kind of get to a place where it's like, all right, we're now ready with our full TikTok strategy to get every single product we have up and out there, it's totally okay to start small with products that you're already, aggressively launching or that you're gifting to creators, and start with just one or a handful of products rather than waiting for a broader rollout. The next is to prioritize products that you either have already gifted to creators or are gifting to creators if gifting is a big part of your strategy. So if there's a product or products in your catalog that you are, that are easily giftable and that you've already got out there in the hands of a lot of people, those are the best products to start with, because again, creators can actually go back in content that they've already created and add the shop integration into the content. And we're again seeing that TikTok is really prioritizing posts with shop integrations in them. So it's a really low lift opportunity to close the full funnel on content that could already be up and out there, or incentivize more content from creators who you've previously gifted. The next is to, when you're thinking about which products to incorporate, focusing on low cost, low barrier products to add to your shop. It is still an impulse purchase type of engagement. Again, it's still new. There's a lot of people who feel like I'm not going to be shopping on TikTok Shop, or that's not my natural user behavior. But if it's an impulse purchase and it's something that you see, you feel is immediately compelling, we all know the stats around I bought it on TikTok, or it's something that just is super easy if the barrier to entry is low and the cost of the product itself is low. The next, again, this came from a lot of the interviews that we had with creators, where the key success stories that they had where they've sold an insane amount of products that have just flown off the shelf. It's been products that they've been able to naturally speak about in close, short succession in a way that feels natural. So you might recall that slide from the earlier in the presentation of the Stanley Cup and how many times that creator had spoken about it. To me, it's wild that one person could authentically talk about a Stanley Cup that many times and have it feel natural. But thinking about products where creators can speak about them on an ongoing basis, and it's not just a one hit, one time type of a deal. So one of the examples that one of the creators shared was, if you are a kitchenware company focusing on products that are actually utilized regularly versus something that is more of a a special occasion type of a deal. The next is something we say it for all the time, which is don't spend good money on fake love. The consumer skepticism of influencers or creators speaking about products that they don't care about or don't truly endorse will continue to be there on posts that are on shop if it's something that doesn't feel natural for the creator. So really focusing on the authenticity piece to make sure that the sentiment from the audience when they see it isn't just, oh, you're trying to sell this product to me, and is instead, I've seen you use this product, or I'm seeing you use it regularly in a way that's natural, and now I have a really simple way to click to purchase to get it. And the final is, oh, not the final, another is that we're hearing again from creators and also thinking about internally as we map out strategies and plans for our clients of how and where to integrate this, is to not get greedy in the sense that we need to think about this from the lens of, you know, there's some, this can be something that we integrate into gifting, where if you're already gifting and you now have a product that is available on shop, creators can incorporate that as an opportunity to earn commission, and it's a really low lift way of potentially getting additional coverage. But at the same time, it's not we are thinking about this from the lens of, you know, still planning and being planful with our partners to make sure that we're getting that baseline of contracted deliverables to be able to say, okay, we know that this is what we're getting at a baseline, but now we're going to be able to incentivize on top to make sure that that dynamic between us or you as the brand and the creator continues to be strong, and that they just see this as another way to be incentivized. And investing in a test campaign. So while, again, integrating shop into or uploading your products to shop for products that you might be gifting is a good thing to do and a good first step, hope isn't necessarily a strategy. And the way to gather learnings that are specific to your brand as quickly as is possible is to start testing. And we recommend, again, contracting partners that you work with or new partners to be able to get a baseline deliverable that is contracted and sponsored, but then being clear with them that there is additional incentive available for affiliate revenue through TikTok Shop if they are continuing to post from there. Okay, so that rounds us out to question time, and I can see that we have a lot in the chat. So I am going to open that up, and I'll have Sophie and Parish join me as well, and we'll see what is jumping out at us here. Okay. One of the first is, the algorithm is favoring shop posts. Does this entail posts from creators, or is this post from the brand, and does it include ads? So this does So first of all, this is something that we are hearing from creators directly. TikTok hasn't necessarily announced that they are favoring shop posts, but again, even from a user standpoint, we're hearing a lot of, I'm seeing so many shop posts in my feed. And on top of that, the creators who have reported that they have gone back and added shop into content they've created in the past, it has then bubbled back up into people's feeds and gained a lot more views and traction. So we're very confident that this is something that, you know, that the posts are being favored in the algorithm currently and will continue to be if shop is integrated. Sophie or Parish, I'm just looking through these questions now. Are there any that have jumped out to you while I've been wrapping up here?
Yeah, there was a question about fulfillment, which was something that we also dug into. I'm trying to find where it is in this Q&A. No one is talking about shipping/fulfillment for shop. How is TikTok shipping this? So there's actually two ways that a seller can go about this. The first one is that there are TikTok fulfillment centers. So I think it's easy to think of this like an Amazon, like they just house a bunch of products for sellers or brands that are available on their platform and then ship it out for them. But sellers do still, and brands still have the capability to ship it out themselves. And this is also like disclosed to the viewer. So like when I, as a consumer, go and look on TikTok Shop, if a product is being shipped by a seller, it'll say shipped by seller. If it doesn't say that, you can assume it's being shipped out by TikTok's fulfillment center. There's a brand called Love Chamoy, who is a brand that kind of blew up because of TikTok Shop, because again, like I think it is being favored by the algorithm. Like we're pretty confident to be saying that. And they moved their products to TikTok's fulfillment center. And they actually have a video like showcasing behind the scenes if you are interested in seeing what that looks like. But yeah, I think that's a good example to grab from.
Awesome. So we have a question here too about commissions. So again, we touched a little bit earlier on, commissions are set by the brand. TikTok have confirmed that the minimum commission at this stage, at least, is 5%. We've heard from creators that there are commissions going up to 30%. So I'm not sure at this stage if there is an upper end cap. I assume not. But for what we're hearing from creators is that the range that they've seen to date has been from a minimum of 5% up to 30%. Okay. We have here, let's see. How does this compare to, oh, no, sorry, that's just slipped away. Whenever I see products on TikTok Shop, it's so discounted. What accounts for that? So this is something that we've been digging into a bit. We've heard from creators as well that first of all, at this stage, as far as we're aware, the discounts that are applied on products are being set by the brand. That being said, we don't yet have confirmation on whether TikTok are also kind of adding any discounts there to try and expedite user adoption. But to our knowledge at this stage, those discounts are set by the brand. There's also something called flash sale, which is where, you know, a product is basically visible in TikTok Shop for the creators, saying these are the products that are on flash sale currently, to essentially bubble those to the top for creators to see, like, oh, these are somewhere I could drive some urgency because it's a limited time window. And we've heard from creators that those posts, or when they are on flash sale, seem to be even more prioritized in terms of the views that they're getting and how effective they are. So at this stage, that's kind of the state of the union on what we're aware of there, but there could be a possibility that TikTok is also, I guess, subsidizing some of that.
There was another question that said, as a consumer, the shop posts have taken over my entire FYP and has turned me off to the social media platform. Is that a concern that the shopping feature is going to end up hurting the platform itself? This was something we were chatting a lot at the very early stages, because we were all like, I feel like this sort of feels like QVC in a way. It was like every third post, if not more, had a TikTok shop integration, and just feeling like this isn't what I came here for. But I do think that's kind of like a growing pain of TikTok. And the good thing about TikTok is they tend to respond quickly and also pay attention to what their users are doing or the feedback that they're getting in a way that I haven't seen with other platforms. So I think I've seen it pared back on my TikTok a lot, in a way that the action wasn't taken as quickly, like when Instagram tried to roll out something similar. So I do think you're right in that it definitely was a turnoff to some viewers. It was a turnoff to me, but I think that TikTok does a really good job adjusting it. And if they're seeing that across the board, they will definitely end up pulling it back, which is why we also said, like, we see them being favored a ton in the algorithm, but who knows how long that's going to last. Maybe they will start pulling it back as a response to that kind of feedback.
Totally. There's another question here. How does this change contracts with influencers? Do the prices of deliverables go down if the influencer is going to make money on the product? So I think this is a really interesting question, and I think there's a couple of different answers to this. So the first one is, again, to restate that there doesn't have to be a contract in place in order for a creator to promote a product on TikTok. There doesn't actually have to be any communication between the brand and the creator at all if the product is visible on TikTok Shop. The creator can essentially just go in there, log in, say that they want to add this product to their post and or their showcase, and they can promote it from there and earn that commission. That is going to be great for brands where you have products where creators are already organically wanting to talk about them, and or that they already there's already a lot of existing brand love there. That's not everyone. And, you know, as everyone has seen, there's some brands who can do really effective gifting and affiliate only. There's others who can't bank on that. So first and foremost, there doesn't have to be a contract in place, but when there is, This kind of touches on the kind of don't get greedy point that we touched on right at the end there of if you're already working with creators and you have, contracted deliverables that you're needing them to deliver on, this definitely will start to become more of a piece of the pie overall, or more of a piece of the overarching incentive. We're seeing it as something where it's like you'll have your baseline contracted deliverables where you are controlling the messaging more, you're getting assets that need to hit on all of the things that you need to hit on, and that you'd be contracting influencers for that content and those posts. But this is kind of like an extra added kicker there where it can help incentivize additional content. There is, again, the additional incentive for influencers. So it probably will start to change the overall mix of compensation, but that could vary brand to brand depending on how appealing the product itself is and how much the influencer is ultimately able to sell it to their audience. Because selling a product, going a kind of full funnel of like, hey, I'm here introducing you to this product and I'm going to get you to sell it in one hit, is something that is ultimately difficult to do if we think about a traditional funnel. So it's not something that's easy, but it can be done. A lot of creators are doing that over multiple posts in short succession, but it shouldn't necessarily replace the overall like baseline payout if you're contracting creators for posts. I think another thing to touch on there, which ties, I saw a question in here about FTC and the eligible for commission banner. So I think something that's interesting and that probably also will change as time goes on is that right now, if a contract isn't in place between the brand and the influencer or the creator, having that eligible for commission button is enough to be FTC compliant. It's not technically an ad as FTC is currently defining it, in that there's not a contract in place between the brand and the influencer. And so eligible for commission is doing the job of kind of disclosing that this is something that is, that the creator has opportunity to earn revenue from. Something that we've been talking about internally that's interesting is that from a consumer perspective, there are some posts that we've seen sentiment of like, you need to disclose that this is an ad. Clearly this is an ad. You're clearly working with the brand. You need to disclose it. And a lot of creators responding, this isn't an ad because like I have the opportunity to earn commission, but it's not an ad. And it's just interesting to think about the definition of an ad, in the sense that, ultimately if you're trying to sell something and someone is like that could continue to change, and consumers aren't necessarily sitting there thinking about the ins and outs and nuances of a gifting disclosure versus a paid contract disclosure. So I think that's an interesting area that will continue to evolve as well. Okay, Sophie or Parish, any other questions in here that are jumping out at y'all?
There was one that says, does a brand have to fully partner, or can they feature just a few products? Which I think this question is asking, do I have to have all my products that I have in TikTok Shop, or can I just select a few? The answer is you can just select a few. A good example of this is Revolve. Revolve has been like, I'd say, one of the biggest US brands that has adopted TikTok Shop. They have like thousands and thousands of SKUs on their website, but on their TikTok Shop, it's just a handful of those. And there's also capabilities to bulk import products. TikTok has put together a profile that's basically like a guide or like helpful tips and tricks for brands getting started on TikTok Shop, where they explain the process of like bulk adding a product. Because something that we were considering is like, a lot of our clients are retailers where they may have like 60,000 SKUs. Like, how are they possibly going to get every product on there? And maybe the answer is they never will, or maybe the answer is that this bulk like import solution basically will allow them to, but we can drop the handle of that TikTok that is by TikTok that will basically give you like a how-to on how you can import those products.
Awesome. Beautiful. Okay, well, there's a decent amount of questions. I think there's a lot of overlap though in some of those that we have answered, and we are running up on time here, but I think we might then divert you all to our inboxes if you have additional questions. Again, as I prefaced in the beginning, some of the questions that you'll have are probably questions that are going to continue to the answers are going to continue to change. Again, there's a new update every day. But we are all over it. We're on it. We're reading every article. We're in direct contact with TikTok. We're talking about creator community. And ultimately, it's just a really interesting opportunity with a lot of potential and a lot of consideration. So if anyone has any questions and would like to chat, you can reach out to us at hello@4.co. We would love to hear from you. If we don't have the immediate answer as well, we can continue to, we're going to be continuing to, update our analysis here on all 4 channels. We're going to be integrating into our strategies. But yes, we would absolutely love to hear from you. Don't be shy or afraid to reach out. Thank you all again for taking the time to call in today. We appreciate it. And good luck out there. It's going to be a fun thing to see how it all unfolds. So thanks so much, everyone, for joining.